I just made 3 assumptions about you. Number 1, you're a guy likely under 18 or who's still dependent on their parents to some degree. Number 2, your parents have strict views on guys growing out their hair, whether they think it makes you feminine or that it makes you purr. That is the last time I ever say that word. Number 3, you're black or part of some other minority group, so you understand that telling your parents growing out your hair is for self-expression is not gonna work. Now, obviously, I don't know your parents, so I can't make any guarantees. Take everything I say with a grain of salt. But by learning these tips, you will significantly improve your odds so that you can start growing out your hair before you move out. Now, before you even think about asking, the first tip is to know thy enemy. And no, the enemy is not your parents, okay? A lot of you think you understand why your parents won't let you grow out your hair. And I can tell you right now, it's not because they hate the thought of guys having hair. If that was the case, they would have just gotten the razor and shaved you bald. And if that is the case, then you're too far gone. I can't help you. It's not the hair itself. It's the meaning that they associate with having long hair. You need to understand that and then fight that perception, fight that belief instead of your parents. For example, a lot of people associate having long hair with femininity and beauty. Whether that's the case, whether that's a fact, is not my business, okay? So it's likely so that your parents, in your parents' mind, they're thinking you growing out your hair is the first step to you switching teams, okay? You're not playing on the same team no more. I want to make it clear that I don't judge, okay? But let's be honest, a lot of Caribbean and African parents are simply just not with that, regardless if it's right or not. It's just the reality that we live in. So you need to fight that belief, fight that perception instead of their judgment. You need to slowly chip away at that idea that having long hair is inherently feminine, because it's not. And if you believe it is, then you're wrong. You're just factually incorrect. So by understanding where the root of their problem is, whether it's religious reasons, whether it's traditional views on masculinity, or they just don't like the styles, you'll be better equipped to help change that perception and hopefully change their mind. Now that you understand what their issue is, you now need to separate your intentions from their fears. Make sure that that line is crispy, bro. There needs to be a clear indication, a clear separation, segregation, all of those words, okay, between what you're intending to do, the reason that you're growing your hair, and what they're fearful of. Okay, so low-key, I don't know what that sound is, okay? Somebody is doing some type of foolishness outside. I apologize for the background noise. Think about it. Why do you want to grow out your hair? Maybe it's because you're bored, or maybe you're trying to glow up. Do your parents know that? Of course they don't, okay? As far as they're concerned, this is just the first step on a slippery slope to you chopping off your meat. Now, I want to make it clear, okay? I'm not trying to get canceled. I appreciate all people. I love all people. Do your thing, right? But if you know that's where their fear lies, right? And you don't even try to clarify the reason that you're doing this, you're essentially shooting yourself in the foot. So before you start your hair journey, make sure that your parents actually understand the reason why you're growing out your hair. They may feel more reassured and thus more lenient to let you do it. Now, what if they don't understand? Or worse, what if they intentionally try to misunderstand you? The worst thing you can do is argue with them. And by arguing, I mean trying to convince them with logic and reason why it's a good idea to let you grow out your hair. See, we have to address the elephant in the room, and that's a lot of parents, specifically Caribbean parents. I'm sorry, I gotta hop on y'all for a minute. Okay, y'all are very stubborn in your beliefs. Like, for real, have you ever argued with someone who had zero intention of changing their mind in the first place? It's like talking to a wall. You're basically wasting your time. Honestly, just save your breath. Instead of trying to argue with logic and reason, try and package your case in a way that doesn't come off as so argumentative. For example, let's say that your parents are against guys getting their ears pierced, right? Nothing you or I could say will change their minds. Logic has no place here, and let me tell you why. When you argue with someone, or when you try to force them to think like you, or try to logic your way into making them think the same way you do, they are simply going to put up their walls, they're going to get defensive, and they're just going to say the opposite of what you're saying. And the reason that a lot of people do that is pride. It hurts someone's pride, and it hurts parents' pride specifically when they have to admit that they're either wrong or that somebody else's perspective has more, I don't want to say value, is more valid, I guess you could say, is more valid than theirs. Don't argue with them. And here's a helpful phrase that sheds a lot of light on this. When you argue with someone, all you're doing is convincing them to oppose you. So try to attack it from a different angle. So if you can't argue with them, what approach should you use instead? Well, if you're trying to convince your parents that having long hair isn't an inherently feminine thing, and I keep using this example because I feel like a lot of us guys have to deal with this. This is an obstacle that a lot of us have to jump over. If you're trying to convince them of that, make sure that if you're showing them a style, that you're showing them a photo with that shows traditional masculine features. Let's take a step back for a second. Why do you believe the things that you believe? You didn't just wake up one day and decide, you know what, I'm going to believe this. I'm going to strongly support this viewpoint. More than likely, you saw something, you attached some sort of meaning behind it, whether it was an event or something impactful, and then your environment either reinforced that belief or it contradicted it. Now, a common rebuttal against guys growing out their hair is that it's feminine, it's girly, blah, 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 blah. We've all heard it before, right? What you need to do is you need to break that image. You need to break that perception. And you can't come at it head on. You have to do it almost subconsciously because that's how we form our beliefs. Most of them are subconscious. So if you're trying to convince your parents to let you get a certain style or grow out your hair so you can get a certain style, make sure that you're showing them photos that have a guy in it if you know that that's where their issue lies. Bonus points if they have masculine features, maybe they have a beard, maybe they look really stoic or they're dressed really professional. Now I want to make it clear that I'm not trying to reinforce this idea that all guys must have these traditionally masculine features and if you don't have them then you're less of a man. That's not what I'm saying. These traditional views, it's important to understand where your parents are coming from, right? You want to change their mind, so you need to meet them on the level that they're at. And if you know that they have these traditional views, then it's only going to benefit you if you can almost combat them and show them instances in which be like, hey, this guy who you would consider traditionally masculine, he has X, Y, and Z features, right? He also has long hair. So you're only furthering your own ideals. You're almost like, it's almost like Inception, okay? I'll be honest, I never watched the movie, but you're almost getting into their brain. You're confusing them a little bit. The key here is to slowly chip away at those beliefs to the point where the thought of you growing out your hair doesn't seem so scary. That's really the point of this. Now, let's say that your parents don't actually have that strong of a belief on guys growing out their hair. They would just prefer that you keep it short. If your parents are more chill, then make them a deal that they can't refuse. For example, in my last year of high school, exams were coming up, and I'm not gonna lie, I was getting a little complacent. I wasn't putting as much time in my studies as my parents would have liked. In fact, I was putting more time into playing Fortnite, okay? I'm not one of those kids. Okay, it was 2018, it just came out. It wasn't that lame yet. So I would play game like for long hours of the day and I would probably study like maybe 1 or 2 hours. And when my mom would check up on me, I'd be like, yeah, I studied today, but I wasn't putting in the work that she wanted to see out of me. So me and her actually ended up coming to an agreement. We made a deal, essentially. The deal was that every day, there was like a gap between exams. I feel like we had like a week, maybe 2 weeks to prepare for exams. We didn't have any class or anything like that. So we made the deal that every day she would drop me off at the public library, okay? Okay, relax. She would drop me off at the library at about like 7 or 8 a.m. in the morning, and she would leave me there for like 4 hours, and I would just study for those 4 hours. And by the time I got home, she would pick me up on her lunch break, she would drop me home, and then I was allowed to play my game for as long as I wanted because I put in the work. So we ended up finding a solution that benefited both parties. I got to play my game as long as I wanted, but I also had to put in that effort. I had to put in the hours of studying that she wanted. So props to my mom for that. You should be aware that this trick doesn't work with things that your parents really, really expect you to do. Like taking out the trash. You can't just say, oh, I'll take out the trash if you let me like grow my hair. You're just asking to get slapped in the mouth. What is wrong with you? Make them a deal that actually puts you at a disadvantage, you know? Something that shows your character, that shows your discipline, that shows how much you're invested into this. And it might make them, you know, think back and be like, you know what? You know, he tried hard. He did what he was supposed to do. You know, what would it hurt to let him grow out his hair? You know, something like that. Now, this next strategy is actually so notorious that it's seen as unethical in negotiations. And it's called the red herring strategy. So essentially, you pretend to want something that you actually don't, and you negotiate on that. You make it very clear that you want it, but you don't actually want it. The idea is that when you finally give up on requesting it, on negotiating for it, the other party will be more inclined to agree to something that is more reasonable. And I'm going to explain. I know this is confusing. I'm going to explain what I mean. Now, this example always comes to my mind. Let's say you tell your parents that you want a sleeve, tattoos all over your arms, both arms. Let's sweeten the deal a little bit, right? Your parents would never let you do that in a million years. So from the jump, they're like, nah, never. Okay, that looks so unprofessional. It looks so untidy, whatever they say. And you tell them, I really want that. I really want just sleeve tattoos, right? So you argue, you go back and forth, you negotiate and whatnot, right? For weeks, months on end. And at the end of those months, you say to them, okay, guys, I understand why you don't want it for X, Y, and Z. Okay, I really want them, but would you be willing to agree to letting me get a much smaller tattoo, maybe on your arm or your chest, that will never have to be seen in public? It will never be seen in a professional setting. Regardless of who your parents are, regardless of how strict they are, you cannot deny that sounds like a much better deal compared to your initial offer. Here's the trick though. That's what you wanted in the first place. You never wanted the sleeve tattoos. That was the red herring strategy. See, the trick is that when you finally ask for what you actually want, it looks more appealing in comparison to the first thing you asked. Now, I'm not saying that, and I'm sure in a lot of scenarios, if you guys came with the same tactic to your parents, they'd probably say no both times. But it sounds much better if it's something more reasonable. So let's bring it back to hair. Let's say that you actually want cornrows, but you know your parents hate the look of 2-strand twists, right? That's just for argument's sake. And you tell your parents that you want freeform locks, something that's a long-term investment that they definitely would not appreciate. They would definitely not be down with. You negotiate with them, you talk to them about it. They say no. And at the end of it, you come out and say, it's like, okay, but can I get something like cornrows? And you show them the pictures of the guys wearing it. It's a temporary style. It's not a long-term investment like locks. It's not as permanent. That would make cornrows seem much more appealing in that scenario based on the different issues that your parents would have with freeform locks. So if you're trying to convince your parents to let you grow out your hair, test out the red herring strategy. It might be more effective than you originally thought. Now hear me out. This next tip is a little bit deceitful and only a few people can actually pull it off. And that is to start cutting your own hair. I know it sounds backwards, but trust me, I'm gonna explain. Now think about it. The only thing stopping you from growing out your hair, the only thing that's actually stopping you is the razor, the clippers, the trips to the barber shop, or to whoever cuts your hair. So by learning to cut your own hair, you're taking that control out of somebody else's hands. You're taking control over your own hair. Now here's where the deceit comes in. You're not actually gonna take length off of your hair. The beauty of having type 3/4 hair is that there's a lot of shrinkage, and most parents won't notice the actual length of your hair unless your hair looks messy or it looks unkempt. So don't actually take off length. You can give yourself a shape up or a low taper just so it looks neat, but you're not actually taking off any of the progress. You can even pat it down. That's what I saw a lot of kids do in my high school, is that when they were growing out their hair, you weren't allowed to grow out your hair, by the way, if you were black. So if you're growing out your hair, you just pat it down, let the shrinkage do its thing, and then it looks like your hair is like a month of length, a month of hair growth, but in reality, it's actually 6 months. So yeah, it's kind of a good trick. So what separates a kid from an adult when it comes to their parents? For a lot of people, I'd assume it's independence. You're taking care of yourself. And that's why so many people wait until they're 18 or wait until they move out to grow out their hair, because that's when they start to have more independence. So if you want to take control of your own hair, it'll help if you start displaying those high levels of independence while you're still under your parents' care, while you're still at home. If you want your parents to stop treating you like a kid, you're gonna have to start acting like an adult. Start showing off that independence. Get a job. Start taking more control over your schoolwork, or learn how to cook. But it's easier to get your own way when you start to take responsibility for your own life and start to make your own choices. Obviously, remain respectful. You know, at the end of the day, your parents have the last say. But if you display to them that you're ready for that step, that you're ready to take more responsibility in your own life, they may be more lenient into letting you make your own choices. Now, do you want to know the quickest way to kill your hair journey? The number one way to kill your hair journey is to neglect your hair. Trust me, parents, especially black parents, If you get caught slipping, you see what happens to you. And with all these misconceptions and prejudice that surround black hair, afro hair, type 3, type 4 hair, and all of that, you don't want to fuel that prejudice by looking unpresentable and just looking nasty. So learn to keep your hair looking healthy and neat. Learn how to keep it moisturized, detangled, and most of all, clean. Because if you don't, I guarantee your parents will throw your little ass in the back seat and take you straight to the barbershop. Now, money is a buzzword in a lot of homes, and not too many parents are thrilled to spend a bunch of money on hair products. So one way to combat that is to take full responsibility for the cost of the hair products that you use. Let's face it, man, hair products can get really expensive, and your parents got way better things to do than to worry about your latest curly hair routine. So you want to avoid unnecessary friction with them. Stick to the basics, stick to the essentials, okay? A conditioner, a shampoo, a leave-in conditioner, and if you got the extra bread, if you ballin' like that, you can get yourself an essential oil like tea tree oil and all of those things. I probably have another video on those. And if you tried all of these things and your parents still won't budge, become a master at hiding your hair growth. You need to give the illusion that your hair is still short, but in reality, you're gaining inches and inches of hair. Whoa, pause. Damn, I did not think that through, bro. Oh my God. Please don't clown me. I mean, they're gonna clown me. Use shrinkage to your advantage. Pat down your afro before you go to school. Wear hoodies with like a satin lining on the inside. I'll leave a link to those in the description. Do whatever you gotta do to keep your parents in the woods, okay? What they don't know won't hurt them. Yeah, I said that right. Why am I questioning this? Now that you know how to start your hair journey, make sure that you watch this video next where I show you how to keep your hair looking curly throughout the week. You know, Monday to Saturday. I teach you how to keep the curls. Okay, so watch that video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.